Good afternoon, Dr. Jansen.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for giving me the chance to come over to your office today so that we can discuss about your last event which you hosted, your organization hosted, the AYF Atla Entrepreneurship Award. Good. Thank you very much. Having said that, I would like to ask some certain questions about the event that you hosted.
You are most welcome.
Good. My first question is, what does AYF Adler Entrepreneurship Award stands for?
The African Youth Foundation Entrepreneurship Awards is an award that is bestowed on Africans in the diaspora, people with African descent, as well as Africans on the continent. This is an award that is given to people who are contributing positively to the society, those who've done several projects that contribute to the community that we live in, and a sort of acknowledgement for the good work that they are doing.
All right. Now the next question I would like to put to you is to know how long is this organization or the Adler Award in existence?
All right. The Adler Awards commenced in 2005. Till date, we have given about 80 awards out to individuals, to organizations, and to companies and people of interest to the organization. And we also have special awards, which actually goes for ad hoc themes for those who are who deserve to be in such categories as well.
Good. Now I want to throw more light on the last event, which took place last Saturday at Kema Hair Grand Hotel. What I want to know actually was to throw more light about the award winners and the special award winners and more things that surrounds the event. My first question is, this year's award saw several dignitaries from Nigeria.
Yeah.
We had, for example, Godswill Akpabio,
Yeah.
the governor of Akwa State, the Honorable Supervising Minister of Education, Barrister E.N. Wike, Ambassador Abdul Rinda, and Rector Joshua Obo of the Maritime Academy in Nigeria. So my question here is there any special connection with Nigeria with regards to this year's event?
Well, that is very interesting, and thank you for asking that question. Well, we actually have received some critiques as to why we have so many Nigerians on the list receiving awards in there. First of all, Nigerians are also Africans, and there's nothing wrong if we have enough of them there. Secondly, population-wise, if we are talking about population, then Nigeria has got the most people that we can think about. In Nigeria, we have about 170 million people. Let us take Ghana, for example. In Ghana, we have just 24 million people. In Lagos alone, we have 26 million people. That is the official rate. So, assuming unofficially, we've got about 28 to 29 million people in Lagos. So practically, you can say you've got all of Ghana's economy only in Lagos. Is it therefore any wonder if we have more people coming from Nigeria than the other countries? As a Ghanaian, I would have also wished that more nominees, more award recipients would come from Ghana, but just check the figures which I just gave. Assuming we even took just 10 million Nigerians, 10 million who are active in Nigeria, it's like talking about already 5 countries in West Africa. That's like you taking Benin, Togo, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Gambia. Will give you already 10 million people. And all these you find only probably in one village in Nigeria. So of course, the probability that there will be more Nigerians on the list than any other country is about 90%. There again, for some reason, we outside Nigeria always have or we hear just negative reports about Nigeria. So we do not really want to it's like we're looking at it, how could that happen? What we forget is, in every society, there is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Nigeria is no exception. It is like any other country with all these qualities. We've got the good ones, we've got the hardworking ones, we've got the prosperous ones, we've got all of them, you can find them in Nigeria. So in that case, when people say it's related, I must say, I am not a Nigerian. I've never been there. What's never been there? I've been there once, but I can't say I've even been there. I was there for a meeting for just 3 days, and that was like from airport to hotel where the meeting was taking place and back to the airport. So I can't even say I was in Nigeria. I'm not related to any Nigerian. I have no family member related to any Nigerian. My husband is a German and not a Nigerian. Really, I don't have any direct, let's say, direct contact to Nigeria, so to say. But the issue stands out that they are doing something extraordinary. I would rather ask the critics to rather concentrate and say, okay, why is Nigeria in this aspect doing better than the others? So why don't they also showcase their best? And then we can also bring it there and see that yes, others are also doing it. So in fact, whichever way we turn it, we are going to have Nigerians there. We've got good, hard-working people in Nigeria who deserve to be showcased, and we've got no other choice than to get them on board.
Good. I should say that that answers the question. Why are more Nigerians there? Good. Going to my next question. The next question is one of the special awardees. The recipients was the supervising minister, the Honorable Barrister A.N. Wike. I want to really point on that. I want to ask you a question about him. In the light of all the educational problems in Nigeria today, for instance, the ASU strike, amongst others, do you think this was the right time for Minister Wike to be given such a special award?
Absolutely. I think the minister deserves this award, and absolutely. And how do I come to that? As you may see, our last event ended on Saturday, that was the 7th of December. The next event has already been scheduled for 6th of December 2014. For our awards event, we plan a year ahead of time. That means selection has already started, and we're going to choose people who are qualified for that. At the time when we nominated Minister Wike, the selection ended in June 2013. At that time, the ASU strike was not in vogue. ASU strike came on just about a month or 2 months ago, and the selection ended in June 2013. In that case, we cannot yet say because there is now a strike or there is some problems coming up from there, that is going to overshadow what the minister has done. We shouldn't forget that the Nigerian education system has got several components. We've got the basic education, we've got the secondary education, tertiary education, university, and all that comes along with the vocational skills and all that. As such, if there is one problem with the university or teachers or lecturers from the university, that does not mean that nothing is being done. If we check the records and why we came to there, the minister has started a program, the Al-Majiri.
That is the nomadic
yes,
education
the nomadic
for
education.
The youths that are street boys.
Thank you. If you live in a country where we have nomads, you really understand what it is for someone to start such a program for the nomads. If you heard what the Ambassador Abdul Karim Rimdab said, he said he was a nomad until he saw some people sitting in a classroom and he decided to go to the classroom also to get something, and today he's an ambassador. So why don't we give the young people this chance to also come up? We shouldn't forget, we say they are the future leaders of our country. So why shouldn't we educate them to lead our countries for us? I mean, train a child, you've got to catch them young. And this is the chance that they've got. They are young people, they need to have some education. This education is not just a matter of they going to the classrooms to learn how to read and write their names out. At the end of the day, they will come up as educated individuals. They will contribute to the society. They will create jobs. Economically, the nation will stand well. And we shall have a group of educated people in the country. Then we had another category that was the girl child. The minister has done a lot in that area too. As it is said, when you educate a woman, you educate a nation. So if our young girls are educated, it will lead to a healthy environment, a healthy nation that doesn't brand its women to one corner of the house saying a woman belongs only to the kitchen and only has to breed children and that's the end of it. Women today are in key positions everywhere you go. So why not the African child? Why can't this African child also go there? If you look at me, if I did not have the education, God bless my daddy for giving me that chance, would I have been sitting here today as Dr. Johnson organizing something like this to give to somebody? So he's got to start from somewhere. And this is something that the minister has also taken upon himself to introduce into the society. This is his legacy that he is leaving behind. Should the minister decide overnight, I'm no longer interested in being a minister, I'm just going home and whatever that he wants to do, he's not going to take these schools along. And these schools are not going to close. They will continue. The one who will succeed in will continue, and it will be of something of benefit for the country in general. So on that aspect, the minister has done a lot. Take that aside, he is also one of the few ministers who has contributed in building at least schools for these nomads. Of course, there are already schools there, but who says we should only stick to what the colonial masters left behind? We can as well develop and create new ones that suit the environment of the system today. So in several aspects, the minister has contributed his part, and if, like I said, he should even leave office today, he has left behind a legacy. So we cannot only restrict it to one or two issues that are problematic in the system and target him and overshadow what he's done. The award, so to say, is not just a decoration, but it's an art to tell those who receive it that you are doing well, your achievements speaks for themselves, so continue doing what you want to do. So in that aspect, I can only say it was really deserving that the minister had an award this time. Who knows, maybe this will even encourage him to solve the ASU problem with immediate effect.
Good. Thank you very much for this elaborate explanation. It was quite elaborate and very explanatory of why the the Honorable Minister of Education received this award. Good. And I should add that girl child education is very important for the society as well. Good. Going further to my next question, I would want to ask is for the organization, AYF organization. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. As an organization that promotes youth education and entrepreneurship, do you see these initiatives, going back again to the minister, of the minister as an effort to curb the youth and educational problems in Nigeria? Going by the fact that there are also a lot of other problems, with education in Nigeria.
Yes, I do see this as really a very positive stand that the minister has taken. Nigeria in itself is not an easy country. You are a Nigerian, you should know better than me. Nigeria itself, it is a giant country with giant problems. The problems are not minimal. To manage to curb all these young people under such instances, to give them some sort of education, give them some sort of foundation, build them up, is not an easy task. For the minister to even identify the areas, the niches within the society, to bring them up, to say this is where we've got to tackle, this is where we've got to hold up. We should not forget that 2/3 of the population are people below 30 years old. These are the young people. If we do not get something for them now, they will grow up to be the funds managers, as they are called in Europe, and the 419s, as they are called in Nigeria. So really, for the minister to tackle on it, I think this is a very good project. This is a very good initiative that needs to be continued. I don't think it only depends on the minister. It depends on all of us. What we've got to do is support the minister, let him know which areas are lacking. For example, the introduction of modern technologies, as we find here in European systems. What are they doing with the computers? What are they doing with the internet access infrastructure? We've got to make sure the minister gets that. Teachers and lecturers are put in a good situation. And then perhaps there could be one or two diasporas who could also say, okay, we can also go home to go and contribute to that and get something going. So depending on how the minister stretches that, I don't know how far he's gone with all the other projects, and I don't know what are the plans for this particular initiative. But I assume that with this intention that he started, if he should continue that way, we should see him in the next 10 years curbing such a problem that most of these nomads, we could solve about 60 to 70% of the issue of these nomads, and that should be something that we could really say, well done, Mr. Minister, you did a great job whilst you were in office.
Good. That's what's very excellent of you. I like that. And going further to other award winners or people that were decorated with awards that also come from Nigeria, I would also like to ask some questions about them. Good. What other factors did you consider or your jury considered to award Governor Akpabio a special award as well?
Okay. Governor Akpabio, in his sense, what the jury looked for was they selected 5 different ECOWAS countries. Of all these countries, they took the best 3 governors or ministers in the different areas, what they are all doing for their people in the different countries. And it turned out that Governor Akpabio's initiatives and contribution to his state, that is the Akwa Ibom state, was very promising. If you take Akwa Ibom State, for example, we've got infrastructure is working, energy is working, jobs are created for the youth, people are working, there is health issues also, there are scholarships for young people to be trained in Akwa Ibom State or in Nigeria and outside Nigeria as well. So, on several aspects, one could see clearly that Akwa Ibom State had done more, or there was more happening in the state than in the other states. So we're looking at all the indicators and the factors and what was really fetching on. It was like, well, he was outstanding, and the jury decided he got the award.
Good. Based on some factors or issues that you raised here, based on for the criteria to giving out this award, I can see that you are concentrated, or your organization is highly concentrated on grassroots initiatives, like the nomads, like the girl child, and now you are speaking about Governor Akpabio trying to invest in the grassroots, like education and stuff like that. I can say that's a very big criteria that if in the future other nominees pass or score a very good grade in this criteria, that they might be the next winners. Is it something you can say?
Yes, that is something that we can look to. You will know, let us take ourselves for good examples. Take it, for example, you brought your daughter here to Germany when she was, let's say, 5 years, or your son, or any of your children, let's say when the child was 5 years. Give the child 2 years and the child will be speaking fluent German. You, the parent, in 5 years, you will still not be able to construct one sentence right. So, as they say, catch them young. The young people, they are easy to build up, to mold for the system when they are given the right directions than when we concentrate only on the grown-ups. Of course, we need educated ones to get it going. But we need to mold our youth, also to get into that section to know that this is what we need. This is what our country stands for. This is what we can contribute to our country. And this is how best we can work on that. African Youth Foundation is based on two major core mandates, that's entrepreneurship and education for the youth. And that is our focus on whichever area that, in whichever category that we take, we focus on who is doing something for the youth, because they are going to be the future leaders of the country. And if we do not give them good role models, these young people will not be able to follow what is supposed to be done. So those are our major concentrations. That part we look on that, and that, based on such categories, is what most people are nominated for these awards.
Thank you, that's great. Education is good. Also, when an adult comes to Germany or to a foreign country and educate himself what is going on in the country, language-wise, he would also pick up quickly. You don't need 5 years, like you just explained. I just want to point on that. Okay, good. Going to the next question would also have to do with the other recipients in this award. They are the rector, Joshua Okwo, and the honorable minister, honorable ambassador, Ambassador Abdul Rindab. Yeah. Please, can you explain to us what also contributed to their winning these awards?
All right. The rector, Joshua Okwo, became the director of the Maritime National Academy in Nigeria not so long ago. You would note that just even barely 2 years ago, cadets from Nigeria were all going to Ghana to be trained in the Ghana Maritime Academy, because the conditions in the Nigerian Maritime Academy was non-existent. They did not even have enough buildings, or let's say suitable, appropriate, humane buildings to train cadets, talk of equipment that they needed and all that. With the coming in of Rector Okwo, he has managed, not only has he managed to get equipment that they need, or just, contribute, but even managed to get them appropriate buildings that you can say we are training students, cadet students in. He has also managed to collaborate with the Swedish Maritime Academy to train some of the cadets. So we have some of the trainers. It's a both way situation. We have some of the trainers from Sweden coming to Nigeria, and we have some of the students from Nigeria also going to Sweden to have some training, all being sponsored from the academy through the government or whichever way possible. But at least it's making it possible to see to it that the Nigerian Maritime Academy in future will be one on the continent that most Africans will actually come to have their training. With this, I must say, this is not just a matter of just what he wishes or dreams, but things he's done on the ground in the past 2 years are things that one could talk about. That today, I would say, although most of the Nigerian cadets are in Ghana, in the Ghana Maritime Academy, most are also considering the Nigerian National Academy, Maritime Academy, to have their training there. So he has also done a lot that needs worth to be noted. Then we have Ambassador Rindab, as you say. Ambassador Abdul Kadir Rindab, in his tenure as ambassador in Germany, and as in Nigeria always have some good ambassadors, he was also an outstanding one. He was not the one who closed his doors to other Africans just because you are not Nigerian. His door was opened to all Africans. To Ambassador Rindab, everything African considered him. He took his time to wait. He was, he sponsored that, he promoted that, he contributed. He gave all he could for anything African to make a difference. So for lifetime achievement, we thought this is one outstanding African ambassador who has done a lot, not only for the Nigerians in Germany, but as well as other Africans in Germany too. I must say our organization had very good relationships with him because he was always there as part of the diplomatic society, diplomatic community representing Africans. And we think people like that really deserve to be acknowledged for the efforts that they contribute for African issues. So of course, we had no other choice than who else could win apart from him.
Wonderful. Good. That was good. But I still have one question for you, because I'm really interested in the education sector, and Right now, we have somebody that is also interested in the grassroots education in Nigeria, because that is where it starts. If you meet the Honorable Minister, Supervising Minister of Education, Barrister Wike, what other area would you tell him to really focus on and invest time and energy on in the area of education?
If I should meet the minister right now, I have, like I said, I'm gonna tell him two areas. That will be ICTs and entrepreneurship. Modern technologies, we cannot do that. The problem is, because we do not know the effectiveness of how much modern technologies could change our lives, we actually, I must say, in Africa, we use modern technologies wrongly. We have the issue when you talk to young people about distance education, they will tell you that's too expensive, we can't afford it. But go to any internet cafe and you see them sitting there watching nude pictures, and that they can afford. Meanwhile, it's the same money. This is not because they are ignorant, but the issue is they have not yet been known what they could use what modern technologies for, be it for commerce, be it for research, education, training, whatever. There are all sorts of fields, health issues, societal issues, civic issues, economic, business, governmental, everything could be useful. So if I should get the chance, I will tell the minister, please focus on that area. And it's not, we are not just saying establish a computer lab, put on some nice computers and nobody can work on it. No, it has to be focused, structured. I mean, today, if you take Germany or Europe, for example, I was telling someone a time will come, even in a cesarean operation, we may no longer even need to cut people to do. Everything is done by a laser and a basic screen. Operations, major operations are going on and the doctor is just touching some screens and it is working on a human being. Why can't we do it? Are we not smart enough to do that? If we are smart enough to have enough Yahoo boys who can generate millions, why can't we do that also? So that is one area I would really like to talk to the minister about. And then the second thing would be he should try to include the diasporas in it as well. Of course, it's always sometimes problematic to involve the diasporas, because diasporas as we are, we always sit down here and throw stones at the house. And it doesn't sit down well, but at the end of the day, we can also help in contributing, if not technically or morally or financially, whichever way. Just include the diasporas also in it, get more going for the education system. Then at the end of the day, education is a very major factor that is of greatest interest to the society, and we really have to get that going.
Good. It's been wonderful talking with you, Dr. Jansen.
Thank you, Mr. Eze.
And I appreciate the time.
You're most
and
welcome.
hope that maybe next time we'll sit together again for the next round of award.
Sure, I can see, and maybe definitely we shall get the minister to come and sit there, and then you could have, because I could see you are very much interested in the minister's position. So I don't know what it is, but he may be some interesting minister in Nigeria. I don't know, you are Nigerian, you can tell me, but maybe next time we could all be at the same table and discuss that too.
Thank you very much. I welcome that.
You're most welcome. Thank you.